is my setup for delivering online lessons. The main computer is what I host the meetings from. The iPad is logged in as a test pupil. This is a pupil account, and that test pupil is a member of all the classrooms that I use to teach. So, what I can use the iPad for is to show, first of all, what the pupils see, and secondly, I can also share the screen and annotate the iPad here, because it's a much more comfortable touchscreen to use. Also connected is a document camera to show any kind of physical artifacts during the lesson, and I can connect that using Zoom, which I'll show you during the demonstration of the lesson. Hello everyone, this is a demonstration of the setup that I use for my distance learning. Connected is an iPad connected to a pupil account, and I've also plugged in a USB document camera. So, in Google Classroom, I will go to the link for my lesson. We've already got that open in Zoom here, and you can see that I'm connected, and also my test pupil is connected using the iPad that I showed you at the beginning. So, let's say I want to start delivering a lesson. I'll share my screen, and I go to Google Classroom to some maths work. Let's find Year 6 Maths, and we'll open some slides, and we'll see how we can interact using the test pupil account. Let's go to today's. Generally, when I open up in Google Slides, what I like to do is not have it full screen. So I've still got access to all the various controls, but I can still treat it like a PowerPoint presentation. So, in this case, let's say that each square represents 1 square centimetre. I'm now using the iPad to annotate the screen. And as you can see, the annotation is much smoother than I would be if I was using a mouse. And I can add comments, so area equals length times width, and it's much more clear than it would be if I was using a mouse or a touchscreen. It would also help if I got the formula. It also means then that I'm still free here on the screen to go between windows and go through controls, and I can keep my hand on the pencil and just keep annotating as I go along. Makes everything much smoother and easy to work with. Okay, so I'm going to unshare the screen there. Another benefit is that the test pupil can also share their screen. So I'm going to do that now. The test pupil will start broadcasting their screen. And I can go to Google Classroom here on the device. And instead of seeing what I, as the teacher, sees in my computer, I can see now what the pupil sees as a learner. And things do look a little bit different. So, for example, under Year 6 Maths, if I go to today's work, the work doesn't show up the way it does on mine. You see the 2 attachments that are available to everybody to see, but the work is down here at the bottom. And it has the pupil's name on it, test pupil. And I can demonstrate that when it's opened, I can go to the annotation and fill in the work straight here onto the page. Of course, those are not correct. But I can check those later. This is not a lesson on maths, this is a lesson on Google Classroom. So, once that's ready, you can click save and the people can submit it and so on. I can also, from my computer, kick out that particular kit. So, I can share my screen and it disables the sharing of the test pupil screen. Okay, I can also switch between the 2 cameras. So that if I want to share something with all the pupils, I can show on my document camera what it is that we're seeing. If I want that to be bigger, I can choose to pin, and that will bring it up for everybody to see. Okay, so that's my advanced setup for distance learning.